morning, everyone. Good morning, Darcy. What are we going to do today? We're going to try to educate the world. Like how I switched that up. Oh my gosh, that was so slick. I'm the coolest. Nope. Nope. And we knew exactly what we were going to do. Oh, that was perfect. That was one of our most perfect. It is. It's just like, because there wasn't really too much guessing on that. And for anybody that doesn't know, our show is modeled after Pinky and the Brain, and that is one of the best cartoons of all time. It ranks up there in the top ranks of cartoons, right up with Ren and Stimpy, right? I was just reading something that was talking about how I forget how they worded it, but unless you were really smart to get the high level jokes, you didn't understand the show. And I was like, what? It did have some good adult humor, but I was like, that show was just gross. I liked it, but I'm not. It was good, but my mom loved it more than anybody in the family, which was the part that always made me laugh because it was so raunchy and so crude. And this was before, I mean, a lot of everybody's been numbed by Family Guy, right? Family Guy came after Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was like the pioneers. That and Beavis and Butthead. Those two, I think, like, and Simpsons, obviously. Simpsons obviously pushed the edge for a long time with cartoons, but like some of those cartoons, man, they are. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's just the same. Nothing different. I mean, the formulas, they got their formula. Yeah, South Park. I think out of everybody to do it, I think South Park's done it the best. If I look at that format, I find I'd rather watch a South Park episode than a Family Guy episode. Family Guy would probably be number two. I mean, they've pushed all the limits, said some pretty bad things on TV, done things in ways that allow it on TV, but and trying to be funny, but just pushing that edge um, in cartoons. And we're not talking about like I can't say it, but like Japanese animation and stuff. They have pushed the edge for a long time. So I'm talking about American cartoons because yeah, you watch some of the Japanese animation, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah, we're not even like it's not even in the same world. Yep. Yep. And for those that may not know, we're talking about violence and it's mostly gore, but then even sexual content. I mean, they push, it's just crazy. It's all, yep. Yep. Yeah. Mm. Oh my gosh. What was the one? There was one that they had a whole little series of it. And yeah, the porn side of it. It was like some crazy fights, but then it was also a porn, I guess, in a way. I don't remember. It's been such a long time. I mean, well, because I'll have to try to find the name, and they'll probably have mini scenes or they'll talk about it because it was bad. And I mean, it was like not like a porn where it's nice and lovely. It's like violent, like not cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, but not like, yeah, I don't think anybody died. I don't remember. I mean, because it wasn't framed in that way, but it was just overall. Because I mean, even when I took Japanese in like seventh grade, like we watched this one like nuclear bomb video, and it was a cartoon, and it was crazy. Like I don't want to even describe, but just think of what would happen if you had a nuclear. It was talking about the nuclear bombs that got dropped on Japan, but it was a cartoon, and it was like following this boy, and yeah, it was a very sad story, and so but it was all like I said, framed in a cartoon. So their animation's been crazy. But back to the a little happier side of American stuff, where just raunchy, I guess. But, yeah. So enough on that. What else we got? We got yeah. Thanks, Pinky in the Brain. Animaniacs is funny. Pinky in the Brain. So yeah. Um, what do we got? We got some. Oh, I didn't fix it over there. Huh. I didn't fix it everywhere. Well, our titles are mixed up. You got some jokes today? I fix my title. It bothers me. You're like, no, I don't, but I do now. Doesn't sound ready. What's your definition of ready? I think you butchered that one. that that's epic there. Actually, that one might get in the ranks of one of your best ones yet. And it's not like a dying laughing, but it is so clever. I like it because it's clever. So, they're your jokes. You're right. You're writing them. I mean, on the fly. When I say come up with some jokes, you're like, all right, let me doodle here for a second. Snowballs. I don't know. Yours worked better. Beat them. Okay, that was all right. That was good, but dumb. All right, I'll be back in a second. My coffee, I drank too much real quick, so keep telling the jokes. All right, I'm back. Can't hear Darcy. Why has it been so? All these jokes have sucked because they've only been me laughing. Didn't you check audio? It says it's on, but it's not showing a bar, so I see that. No, what happened to you? Okay, wait, hold on. That means I gotta adjust this.
That's hilarious. So it just sound that means our whole conversation about the penguin.
Oh man, my half of it's been bad. Mine was bad. That's kind of funny though.
That's hilarious. You just sound like you're having a conversation with yourself.
That'll be an interesting re-listen.
That is gonna be
Good thing we didn't get
funny.
into the show too much. I mean, we did our little chit chat at the beginning, but yeah, that'll be an interesting start. So,
Yeah.
good morning, everyone. We might
Good
cut
morning,
at this
everybody.
point. I might have to take that video. Well, we'll leave it because we usually leave all our stuff anyways because we don't care.
No, we
But
don't.
I don't because you can't cut live videos. That's the interesting thing. If that's why we don't have followers because we've left all ours there. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. End scene. We'll just cut that. Start over. I see your bar dancing
This
now,
is
and it is funny.
okay. That's hilarious. It'll actually probably be the best show yet.
No, it won't, because it was
The
good.
first
It was
part.
your jokes. Your jokes have been good too. So it's all Craig's fault.
Yeah. Well, that just means I can say them again.
Craig's
Patricia tried
coworkers.
to warn us.
Craig's coworkers got him in trouble, and
Uh-oh.
yeah, they
Because
were
he was
all
listening to us
on
while
their phones, and then, so they don't they took away everybody's phone at work. Go figure.
Oh, I see. Rude.
He was part of the problem
What
too.
do they expect
Obviously.
him to do? Work?
Yeah, what do they expect him to do? Work? I mean, in his particular
So
case,
weird.
he could, because he has less, like he's more monitoring a machine, and so he might be able to listen.
I just
But
picture like Homer Simpson, like when he's at the
nuclear power
when
plant.
he's at work. He's just
Thought you didn't watch
Craig's
The Simpsons.
just sitting there like
That's funny.
Homer's had the same job for 30 years.
How do you know you haven't watched it recently?
I'm assuming he still has the same job.
He does. They didn't change that yet. That's funny, but yes, he is like Homer, just like Homer. I think he has to stand though. I don't think he gets to sit. I'm pretty sure he has to stand the whole day. That's why his foot bothers him. All right.
Yikes.
So, well, that was interesting. So we are just going to start because we've already burned 20 minutes of me talking to myself. And we have this beautiful picture.
I cannot wait to listen to the first half. It's going to be hilarious.
I got to listen to like 15 minutes too. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I really did listen to the first half already, but
Yeah, mine says calibrate again. I was just checking the.
always. Oh yeah, I'll see if mine. Oh yeah, you were right. It is when we get up and come back. Mine doesn't say calibrate again.
So
Good to
maybe
know.
that's
I guess I always just
helps
look
with your
after I get up.
glitchiness.
No,
No.
I always calibrate when I come back.
Well, I didn't know if you move
Am
out
I
of frame
fuzzy
too much.
today
Yeah, of
like I
course
was
you're
the last
fuzzy.
time?
You're always
Oh.
fuzzy. You drink too much, way too much. Bad joke. Because you don't drink, but you're fuzzy. Yes, you are
Yeah.
pixelated.
Nope, this is just my natural essence is just a little bit off.
A haze.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, maybe you should drink some more water.
Oh man, I definitely need to drink more water.
Where do you think we can
I
get
only
more
had one
fresh
water
water from?
yesterday. Um, the mountains.
Nope. How about water vapor above the Earth's oceans?
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Tell me
A,
more.
a new study suggests an investment in new infrastructure capable of harvesting oceanic water vapor as a solution to limited supplies of fresh water in various locations around the world.
Okay.
They
For some
propose.
reason, this kind of reminds me
Oh, go ahead.
that movie with Richard Pryor where he's got to spend like a whole bunch of millions of dollars in a short, and then like one of the things he invests in is bringing an iceberg down to what South America or something,
That's
and it
such a
actually
great
worked.
movie.
But, well, what is it called?
Something's
I just keep
billions.
thinking the toy, but it's
Something billions. I forget what it is.
I'll look it up real.
Or millions or something. I forget. Well, they wouldn't have billions back then. It'd just be millions. Watch out.
Yeah, millions.
It's like
Like
$1
billions. Wow.
million. That's not very much money.
Yeah.
What? $1 million? So, however, subtractable.
Oh, Brewster's Millions.
Brewster's Millions. Yeah,
Sorry.
that's that's where I got the B from the Brewster.
Yep, you sure did.
But yeah, that was a good one because everything he did, he kept making more money off of. Right? Wasn't that
Yep.
kind of like the premise of it?
Yeah,
All
he
the
couldn't
bad
he
things.
couldn't lose it.
Yeah. However, in subtropical regions like western US, nearby oceans are continuously evaporating water because there is enough solar radiation due to the very little cloud coverage throughout the year. Previous wastewater recycling, cloud seeding, and desalination techniques have met only limited success, the researchers said. Though deployed in some areas across the globe, desalination plants face sustainability. So they've decided to plunder the air. Capturing moisture. Do they even have a machine that's even coming close to thinking about how to do this? I think this is just somebody's idea. I want to know how they do it. Nobody had thought of it before because it seemed like such an obvious solution. And it hasn't been done before, I think, because researchers are so focused. Yeah, it's probably because like the water vapor. I'm trying to see. It doesn't probably contain as much salt. That's why it's pretty much fresh water.
Mhm.
So then if you can just harvest it, you don't have to invest in taking the salt out of it. Which from what I understand, the amount of energy that goes into desalination plants is a lot compared to what you get out of
Yeah.
fresh water. That's why they're not sustainable currently. Because I mean, to me, that would make sense, right? Everybody's like, well, why don't you just use the ocean water and filter it, right? I don't think it's. I don't think
Yep.
it's at all that easy.
No,
And
it's
then I
not
don't
safe.
think the amount
No.
of power. Later on in
Yeah,
our.
because there's not just salt in that water too. Eh, there's fish poop. Um,
No, there's not.
there
Yeah, fish don't
there's
poop.
there's plastic. Oh, yeah, they
No,
do.
the fish are filtering
Have
that.
you ever had a goldfish?
Fish are filtering
Yeah.
the plastic for us. They're
Yeah.
drinking it. But
Yeah, we'll just eat that later. Yep.
yeah, later on we will in our episode cover how the desalination plants might be actually viable coming up. because of the new
Ooh.
discovery. So what do we got next? We got this.
What is that?
It's a robot. And it's going to be crawling
That's
through your
a
body.
weird robot.
You want
Okay.
that in your
Why?
body?
Nope.
It's a new
Well, first,
gelatinous.
how does it get in? And then what does it do?
Well, it's already in there. That's what. Sorry, I don't want to do. I don't want to do
Yeah.
conspiracy theories. I was gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what everybody thought was going on 2 years ago with the shots, with
Yeah.
the jabs that they were putting, trackers. So this is a new gelatinous robot that crawls, powered by nothing more than temperature change, and clever design brings a kind of intelligence to the field of soft robotics. So it's a gel bot that's going to help deliver medicine, and it can crawl through your body by, I don't know if they will control the temperature or if your body just will control the temperature, trying to fight it off. I don't know. I was just being, I don't know how it would like how you'd be warmer and like move it, assuming that's how it moves.
Yeah. Uh,
So robots are made almost exclusively of hard materials like metals and plastic. A fundamental obstacle in the push to create, if not more human-like robots than robots ideal for biomedical advancements. Water-based gels, which feel like gummy bears, are one of the most promising materials in the field of soft robotics. Researchers have previously demonstrated that gels that swell or shrink in response to temperature can be used to create smart structures. Makes sense.
mm-hmm.
They can be manipulated to move forward and backwards, essentially allowing them to crawl in any direction. Pretty cool.
Where did they crawl? Like in your veins or just like in there? They're like scooting around your intestines and stuff. I'm like, excuse me, pardon me,
They
excuse me,
foresee a range
excuse me.
of practical future applications, including moving on surfaces through the human body to deliver targeted medicines. They hope to train GelBots to crawl in response to various conditions in human biomarkers and biochemicals. He also plans to test other worm and marine organism inspired shapes and forms and would like to incorporate cameras and sensors in their bodies. So that's the
Interesting.
future of medicine right there.
Future. Sorry. I always think of SpongeBob when I think of the future.
Some claim,
When they go
though,
into the future.
hold on, I gotta sneeze. Did that work?
Yeah, I didn't hear you, but your
Maybe
little
they
guy
did.
was moving around a lot.
He was
Who?
convulsing. That's funny. I was gonna say the others on the
Oh.
stream because I have
Oh.
two audios.
Ah. Lucky. Apparently, I only have one.
You have
Just
none,
kidding.
really.
Yeah. One or none. I guess that's two.
Some claim culture affects our basic visual perception. Researchers found little difference in how people of East Asian and European descent performed on a famous test. What? Oh, they're debunking that claim. Okay. Because I was like, their second
Oh.
sentence said that like there was little difference. Okay. Past research has suggested that people's cultural differences may result in differences in basic visual perception. New research found no evidence that these differences play a significant role in how participants perform a basic visual test. Findings lend support to the idea that basic mechanisms of visual perception are universal. Really? Okay. I'm not going to finish that because this I'm cool with that side of it completely. I would have challenged the claim that culture changes your visual perception. Like they're talking like
Yeah, I do.
basic mechanisms, like how your eyes work and stuff like that.
Hmm.
What is the
Gotcha.
rod and frame task in the debate? I think no. I think well, no. It's how you perceive. Let me see. Historically, let's see.
Yeah,
The
because
rod. And,
there's like
go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
just remember there's a picture, or it's like a box, and like some of the lines don't meet up correctly.
Yep,
And
that's
so
exactly it. Yep, rod and
when
frame
we
test.
see it, yeah, when we see it, we're like, that doesn't make sense. But then other cultures see it, and it's just they see a bunch of lines. They don't, their eyes don't try and see it in 3D or whatever. I don't know exactly. Um, and I do remember that in class, like, whatever class that was. I can't even remember the class. I just remember hearing or the teacher saying that different cultures aren't used to seeing stuff like that. I don't know.
Yep, it's that test. What you described. It's got some lines, and the difficulty comes when surrounding frame is tilted in various ways, which can influence the perception of the vertical orientation of the line. Historically, researchers had been conducting Western countries with college students as participants, raising questions about how accurate the data is. And then they did it other places, and people got different results. And then they concluded that if the findings were true, it would stand to reason people who have been immersed in another's culture for enough time will start to perform similarly, being raised in the culture in the rod and frame task. And then they were saying if culture influences the most visual functions, then it has to be taken into account for all kinds of studies. And then how do they debunk it? If anything, to do with how they judge the line's vertical orientation. Um, they couldn't replicate it. That's basically how they debunked it.
No.
And it's even more simple. They tried to replicate the test, and they're like, "Yeah, it doesn't stand." And that's like one of the things in science.
That's
Now,
interesting.
well, you get to publish papers, and you can kind of
Mhm.
get your name out there and get a little bit of famousness in, we'll call it the media. It's probably even in a little bit of science. But then, people are going to go and test that hypothesis. And if it can't be recreated,
As they
then
should.
yeah, yeah. And if it can't be recreated, then it gets debunked, but you don't hear as much about that. So cool. Makes sense though.
Interesting.
We're talking about just
Yeah.
like not how you perceive like cultural, like people talking and interaction with people. That's not it. It's just like how you actually look at things. Like seeing.
Yeah.
Like, does
Well,
everybody see the
yeah,
same
I mean,
thing literally? Well, not everybody because people
yeah.
have problems, but most people. Is visual perception universal? And it is. A square is a square, maybe
Yeah, like
different
everyone
colors.
can see that face on Mars.
Well, here's
Yeah.
this one right
Stuff like
here.
that.
Like, are people seeing the two faces or the vase in the middle? Right.
Well, it's funny because so I when we're doing the show, I have two views. I have a small one, and then the one that I watch, you know, while we're talking. And the small one, because it's small, I can see the vase, or it looks like to me, it looks like a leg on a table. But on the bigger screen, I see two faces. So I think it also depends on the size, I guess. Like it's bigger, so
Hmm.
I see the faces.
That's really interesting. Because you're right. I just
Mhm.
flipped over to my other screen where it has it smaller. Because I see the faces, and then yeah, the vase is a little more prominent. Huh? What does people in chat think? I wonder. This so this is the picture that's up right now to describe it to those that may only be listening, but they probably shouldn't be because they got in trouble.
'Cause they're at work? Oh, that's funny.
um, it is it's a picture with black on the sides and white in the middle, but it's in the shape of a vase with the white and faces in the black, and it's one of those visual perception tricks. what do you see?
Yeah.
And they were trying to tie that to culture, which it's funny because Darcy brought up that she had heard of that before, right? Is that what you
Yep.
said?
Yeah, yeah, but I think I mean, well, on all the shows and stuff, they say everyone's eyes are, humans are, our brains are, I can't think of the right word. We try and see faces and everything so that we can recognize people and other things. And that's why when we look at clouds, we see faces or shapes. And so to me, it would make sense. And I mean, I feel like I can't remember like the rod test or whatever, the rod and frame test. If I was trying to remember because obviously it's been years and years since I learned about that in school. Was it because we live in a world with like buildings and we see tall things all the time? But so I feel like that's what it was. Like you're not around certain things, so you just don't. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me because our brains are trying to see things and everybody sees, like I said, that on Mars there's that mountain and with the shadows on it just right, it looks like a face. And so people say there's a face on Mars. But it does, it looks like a face. I think it's natural, personally. But I don't know. Wasn't like the man in the moon, doesn't some culture see a rabbit?
Mm-hmm. Something like that. I don't know. There's a different thing. I see. I don't know what I see. I think I see the face most of the time. The man. Moon seems to be bigger. It
I was
seems to be
thinking
getting
that.
closer. But since it's just the Death Star, anyways, it's
Yeah.
not even real.
It replaced the moon. Because the moon's moving farther away every
I said it
day.
seems closer though.
I know. That's why you're wrong,
Bigger.
because it's
I
moving
know.
further
It's
away.
weird. It's weird. I mean, just as an adult, it just seems bigger. Like I see bigger moon all the time. I mean, it's like it's interesting because everything else gets smaller as you get older, right? From a kid to adult, it seems like. I mean,
Mm,
perceptually because your size, and so then, yeah, it would make sense that the moon would get more realistically smaller. Like the sun I think used to be bigger in my head, but the moon always seems smaller. So it's interesting. And then, oh, the other thing I never noticed as a kid that the moon came up at night, or I mean, at during the day at night. That's so funny. Came up during the day.
like, it's so weird.
Yeah, it never came
Yeah,
up.
isn't that a reflection or something when you see it during the day?
No,
Like,
it's the
it's a
other moon. It's
reflection
the
on
second moon.
the. Oh,
They
right.
have they got to have two Death Stars so they can keep an eye on the planet at all times.
Yeah. Yep, one in the front, one in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded really.
And it's a Death Star.
It's funny because I have a Christmas shirt and it's I got it last year for Christmas, but I've been wearing it all year. But it's the Death Star is the moon and like um the Darth Vader is in the sleigh and like Leia and Skywalker and a few other creatures are walking around on the going Christmasing. It's my Christmas shirt.
Sounds cool.
It is cool. I like it. I'm the only one in the house that appreciates it, but 1 out of 2 ain't bad. It's 50%.
You want to take a break,
Okay. Yeah, we'll take
or
a
do you
quick
want to do
break.
a couple more articles? You can choose.
I don't need a break just yet,
Okay, let's
so we
knock out
can
a
do a
couple more
couple
real
more.
quick.
Okay. And then we can do Christmas when we get
What do
back.
you think about this?
Oh,
This is-
that reminds me of my life the last couple weeks. Except for my feet were way more dirty at the end of the day. The end.
Uh-oh, I'm standing on your feet now. I got new feet.
No,
Look, I
those
got
aren't my
feet.
actual feet.
No, look, I got feet. I'm
Wait,
missing
let me
legs.
make my picture bigger. I can't see. That's oh no,
I got foot.
that is
Kind of a
hilarious.
weird foot.
You do. You have 1 foot. Yep,
Yay.
that looks
So, do you
looks
think
awesome.
moving's stressful?
moving is very stressful, and it's so much fun. It's totally worth it,
Mm.
unless you have to move, and then
So
I don't know.
Dr. Chung is studying the effects of moving and stress or stress. Like I can't even say things correct. I can't make sentences today. He says, I don't know. He's doing stuff with moving and stress. I'm just gonna go with that. But he's trying to get actual data around it. And one of the things he's noticed,
Nobody
the average stress level of homeowners is significantly higher than renters. And those who
Yeah,
move more frequently are more stressed than those who don't. That's like the opposite of what, wow. So homeowners' stress is higher than renters, but then the stress of those who move more frequently are more stressed than those who don't. I read that earlier as I was warming up for this, that it was the
mhm,
opposite. The people that move all the time are not stressed. Because that was one of the things I moved like every year for 6 years.
yeah,
And um and I know that's a lot, but it's not a lot for other people too. Some people move like all the time, and that's super stressful too. And I didn't move
yeah.
very far.
I had a similar experience, yeah.
And I didn't move far, but still, it was. I got used to it, and I could just pack everything. I just didn't unpack. I'd say it felt like you never. The stress really came from never really settling into the apartment, because it
Yep,
just was like everything. I knew I'd be moving the next year because they played with your rent, and so you had to keep moving. And so,
yeah,
yeah, and so then I would think that I got used to it, so the act of moving was never really that stressful. And even now that I'm a homeowner, even moving around, it's not that big of a deal. So, but I don't have stuff in boxes anymore. It's just in piles
yeah.
now.
I think that's the not unpacking is so stressful because you never feel just relaxed and at home.
Hmm.
We
You're
did
always searching.
when we sold our house and then we rented, just even though we unpacked, like, we all of our furniture was out, all of our clothes were unpacked, um, and pretty much it was just the decorations and a lot of things that I knew we weren't gonna use, like, I didn't unpack all of my baking supplies, um, but knowing that we were gonna have to move again and we weren't completely unpacked, and it just was really stressful, and so getting here and unpacking everything has felt so good, and it's so stressful. We still have to go back today or tomorrow to finish cleaning the other house.
Yeah.
We're like, "Can we just have one house now, please?"
Yes. Yes. So it's cool.
So, I
Dr.
think
Chung
that's stressful.
is trying to
Good
figure
job.
out how much stress. That's an interesting study. I like that one because it affects a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like back to our
Yeah.
bubble, uh, tenacity or whatever, not popping. Like again, studying moving patterns and how much stress and stuff like that. That because you could help out a lot of people. Maybe come up with ways to help them
Yeah.
prepare, or I don't know. There's no way to prepare because nobody. It's all on themselves because you got to
Or
pack.
just know that you're not alone.
Yeah, just know you're not alone.
Yeah. You're not alone. We all feel that way.
All right, let's see. I can't see this one, so I'm gonna try to make it bigger. Then it gets blurry. So,
Oh, yoga.
yeah, which is interesting. Do you think? Let's do a little poll. That exercise boosts cognitive of function in older adults,
As in, well, I'm gonna assume you're asking me because I'm an older adult.
and you exercise.
Yes, I think so. I do, not as often as I should.
One would think it does,
I think it does.
but it doesn't. For
Guys.
decades, doctors and scientists have known that exercise is important for older adults. It can lower risk of cardiac issues, strengthen bones, improve mood, and provide other benefits. Likewise, mindfulness training reduces stress, and stress can be bad for the brain. So many have thought that exercise and or mindfulness training might improve brain function. In a large study, researchers had hypothesized that if older adults exercised regularly, practiced mindfulness, or did both, there might be cognitive benefits. But that's not what they found.
What? I am shocked.
Yeah, but it's just like what everything else they've told us. When I say they, that's the body of people that we assume are smarter than us and direct us. Um,
Yeah. Turns out
and
they're just like us.
they're just like us and they get things wrong, or they just don't have enough information, or they have to learn things.
Rude.
Yeah, and then we get mad at them for getting it wrong, and then they have to lie because they know that people get mad at them if they're wrong. And we've actually created the
Yeah.
society we live in by the way we treat people.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. We've made
Well,
bad people, kind of.
yeah. No, absolutely. We have. Yeah, I don't know. I did a dance class the other day. I started dancing again. Well, I've gone to one class, but that counts as starting. Um, and I have felt better the last 2 days. So I went to one class for 1 hour Thursday night, and it's Saturday morning, and I still feel so good. And feeling, getting rid of some of that stress helps with learning new things. I don't know. I mean, in a roundabout way, I still think it's true.
And that's what the
I'm like a
doctors are
flat earther
saying.
now. I'm like, I did not.
Well, the doctors aren't saying don't exercise or don't practice
No.
mindfulness, but we had thought we might find
Yeah.
a cognitive benefit to it, and we didn't. On the
Yeah.
other hand, we
I think all
didn't.
the other
Oh,
other benefits.
they're saying they didn't study whether exercise or mindfulness might benefit. Oh, I thought they were going to help out adults who are impaired with disorders such as dementia, depression. Um, well, I think the exercise they're not, and they're also not knocking down that helps your body, so that's always good. And then maybe that helps your mind because
Mhm.
you're not stressed about your body. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
That would be a tough one to measure, but there's no
It
direct
would
link.
be
They say.
so hard because you're gonna go in stressed out, so whatever benefit you're getting being tested all the time is probably not gonna. It's not like a breathalyzer. You're just like, wow, your breath is smarter today. That's the test we need.
Breathalyzer smarts test.
Yeah, a smartalyzer. Yep,
Smartalizer. Wow,
told you.
that's trademarked. You heard it here first. Smartalizer.
Yeah.
Well, that would be dangerous because we would see how
I know all of
unsmart
a
we are.
sudden it's like that movie with, yeah. What's that movie? Sorry, this is my kick right now. What's that movie? With, Jude Law and Ethan Hawke, I think? Where it's, like, in the future, and they can tell if you're gonna be a good citizen by your DNA. I don't know. It just feels like,
A few of those,
um
but you're talking about
yeah,
whatever the popular one
one of
would be.
those.
Yep, I
Yeah.
know what you're
Or
saying.
the most well, I was gonna say the most recent. That movie is probably, like, 20 years old.
Well, I thought
My
about it.
my, knowledge of movies is 20 years old.
Well, you're talking about if you're good or
Mhm.
bad based off of DNA, which is interesting. That takes it
Well,
even
it was
further.
yeah, well, because I think Ethan Hawke's character was supposed to he had, like, heart problems or something, so basically he wasn't gonna amount to anything because he was gonna die young, and Jude Law's character had gotten injured, and so they just switched lives, um, or Ethan Hawke filled in for him. 'Cause he wasn't disabled, and he just had to clean up after himself so nobody had his DNA.
Hmm.
It was based off of, like, physically whether or not he was fit, um, so but I feel like I only watched the movie once a very long time ago, so that's probably not what it was about at all. They're like, "What are you talking about?"
All right,
Mhm.
break time.
Yeah, let's do it.
'cause we're getting ready to move to the actual Christmas section.
To Christmas stuff? Yeah, we'll have 30 minutes of nothing but Christmas.
Well, if we do it really fast, we'll have 35. So
Yes. I'm in.
3-minute break.
3 minutes? Okay.
This is like a speed break. Oh, but it says 4, you say.
Oh, we have 4 minutes. Yes. Are we going? Oh.
Hurry up.
Okay. See ya. I should not have asked for donuts today.
You just went and got 5 more.
Yes.
Was that the number?
I
Uh,
couldn't help. Yes. I wasn't going to, but the 5th one just looked so good, so I ate it. And I was like, I didn't actually have 5 in my bowl,
so
but at
now
the end
you've
of
ate
this, I will
10
have eaten.
donuts this morning.
No,
I know.
now I've eaten 7 donuts, and I still have 3 more. They're munchkins, by the way.
I know. That's what I was trying to not say. Yeah,
I
they're
know,
just
but
little.
everyone's gonna be worried about me. They're
I
like,
know. There'd be like
"Darcy's
10
getting gonna
donuts.
have a sugar foot."
A
Yeah, that's a
sugar
lot.
foot.
Mhm. Yeah, you have to be careful with well, I don't have diabetes, but I think, if you're eating 10 donuts in an hour, you're probably well on your way
Oh, yeah.
to some serious health problems.
10 donuts, man. That's
Safety first.
you're only 2 away from a
Serious.
dozen. So, I mean, you got to eat 2 more. Like you
No,
buy them in
I
dozens,
think this
right?
is
You buy them like 12 donuts at a time.
mm, I know, it's totally I had oatmeal for breakfast, and now I'm eating donuts. What the heck? But we're doing a lot of stuff today, so, you know, it's not an everyday thing.
Is that what you think?
Who's that cutie? The one in the back kinda looks like Harrison Ford. The one with the sticks.
Does. That's kind of funny. That cutie is Santa.
Not Krampus?
No, that's not Krampus. This is Krampus's brother, the nice guy. This is I don't know what his name would be, but he's nice Krampus. And this is Krampus.
Oh, hello.
Who is Krampus?
Creepy.
Krampus is
Yeah,
the
who is
stuff of
Krampus?
nightmares. This figure is
Mm,
commonly
mhm.
described as a half goat, half demon, with shaggy fur, horns, long curved tongue, and fangs. An even worse version of Bad Santa, Krampus plays the bad cop to the big beardy man's good cop, and punishes naughty little kids. In some parts of the world, he's known to carry a basket on his back for his catch of the day, which in this case is a child whom he'll consider for Christmas dinner. The wicked tale of Krampus has become
Yummy.
so popular that Krampus Night, aka Krampschnacht, I can't say it in German, but we'll go with that.
That's awesome.
Krampusschnacht, I don't know, is celebrated on December 5th, the eve of St. Nicholas Day, in Austria and other parts of Europe. Oh, we'll have to start celebrating that December 5th. Remember that. We'll talk about Krampus more.
Remember that?
Yeah, remember that. That's our new thing for the show. Every
Yep,
December 5th, we'll
I like it.
celebrate Krampus Day, whatever it is, Krampus Night. While charging around Alpine villages dressed as Krampus with the intention to beat up people are a thing of the past. What?
Thankfully. Yeah, all of a sudden it doesn't sound like that much fun
Yeah,
anymore.
this doesn't sound like fun anymore.
Actually, that
Oh, that's so
it sounds
funny.
like Rick's favorite time of the year. It's like, can we celebrate that
Dress
every
up like
day?
Krampus and go beat up. Oh, that's the purge. The costume folks now roam
It's
the
totally
streets.
the purge.
Oh, no, here's maybe more for new people. Costume folks now roam the streets scaring off people and demanding booze instead.
Fun. Yeah. Fork
we'll,
it
we'll
over.
probably talk more about Krampus coming up because there's other ones to talk about. We'll see if they have any new stuff. But in the meantime, we have Belschnickel. Who is Belschnickel?
I don't know.
As Dwight Schrute from the mockumentary The Office once said, no one fears Santa the way they fear Belschnickel. And not just because he's all clad in fur at all times, a mask with a long tongue. The ill-tempered, raggedy man usually carries a switch in his hand, which he uses to beat naughty children. But if they're nice, they can count themselves lucky, as Belschnickel would give them cakes, candies, and nuts instead.
So lucky. I mean, I guess it's better than getting hit, but like it sounds like a fruitcake.
Do you know how to speak Icelandic?
I want to hear. No, you can call it the Yule Cat.
Joel Kukurin.
I'm gonna look and see if I
Joel
can find the pronunciation.
Kukurin. Joel Kukurin. I don't know what the double dot above an O and the slash above an O. I got two different O decorations on two different O's, so I'm not even sure. But as Darcy so elegantly said, the Yule Cat is not a nice kitty. With his
Nope.
razor sharp whiskers and blazing eyes and terrible claws. This is my cat. Wait, what? The giant beast, oh, he's not big, nope, is known to go on a prowl, hunting people rather than mice and consuming any child who does not receive new clothes on Christmas Day.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna tell Rick about this. Like, if I don't get new clothes for Christmas, a
Yule
cat's
cat,
gonna come and eat you.
Yule cat's gonna come get you.
Yep.
The mythical
I
creature. Oh, go
I
ahead.
listened to how to say it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yolaka wait. Yolaka Yolokturin. Yolokturin.
Yolok turn.
That's a rough one.
Yolok
Yep.
turn. That's way better than
I
mine.
had to listen to it like 4 times.
I should have just sounded
Yeah.
it out. Now that I see it, it makes sense. So let's see.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. The tale of the Yule Cat is told by parents to encourage children to work hard, reminding them to do their chores or they would be sacrificed to the big bad kitty.
You know
Sacrificed.
you're bad if you don't get socks for Christmas.
Yeah. No, I wanted some socks.
Like, oh no.
So funny. You have
Like,
kids
I
begging.
got socks and underwear. You do love me.
Yule Cat's
Like,
not gonna come. When does it come? Like you gotta open your present. So is that like a Christmas Day thing? Like when's the timeline? Is it like nighttime the night after? Like when's the cutoff of now? What if Grandma and Grandpa are out of town and they haven't come giving you your socks yet? Like when's this cat gonna come eat you?
maybe Yoloktura knows if it's on its way.
I'm glad you guys don't have any children listening
I'm
to your
looking
show
up when it says.
because they would be afraid of Christmas. Thanks, TB. No, it's all ways to convince them into being good. But look at this one. This one's happy. This is the Yule Lads.
Aww.
Another
Yep.
Icelandic what is this? It's a myth, but there's a better word. Folklore, maybe.
Oh,
Icelandic
yeah,
winters
no.
can be pretty harsh, which probably explains why their Christmas monsters are equally jarring. Forget Snow White's 7 dwarves and get ready to be
Ooh.
creeped out by Iceland's 13 Yule Lads. Wait, there's our whole
Yeah, that's
little collection is going to be gnomes. That's what we're getting ready to release. The gnome looking trolls and polygons finally coming back into price ranges, by the way.
ooh, nice.
The gnome looking trolls visit houses between December 12th and the 24th with one Yule lad a day to troll each household with their own unique form of mischief. Spoon Licker, one of the lads, tongues utensils clean. Oh my gosh, that little dude would get
You're
destroyed. Oh my god! If I
you're
saw
like,
some
I
little
will
gnome,
throw everything away.
yeah, if some gnome did that to my stuff, like I would sit up with like gnome traps and I would go on gnome hunting expeditions. I would smoke all the just him. Let's see what we got. Door Slammer. Door Slammer slams doors like an angry teen. Okay, you got to find all 13. I only got 2.
Wait, read this next one.
Oh yeah.
Sausage
Yeah.
swiper.
Yeah. So you could probably guess what Sausage Swiper gets up to. Okay, you got to find these and read these. This is the best. This is the best one. However, way
Okay.
back in the day, the tricksters were much more vicious with shocking tales of gruesome brutality told to scare children into good behavior. The Yule Lads are the shit. Oh my gosh, we might have to
Alright.
change our collection and make the Yule Lads.
Yep, I'm looking.
Oh, that's exactly. I just
Uh,
had it. Okay, so she's gonna read off the Yule Lads. There's only a few of us in here. Looks like we only got 3 viewing today, so I don't know who that third one is. Again, it's our secret viewer. But we're gonna make an NFT collection of the Yule Lads, and you get to pick who you want to be. So there's only 13, and I know that's gonna be an easy. Like our chats never went over 13, so this is you get to basically pick. And if 2 people pick the same one, and you don't have to pick right now, we'll talk about it later because this is just kind of funny. It could apply
This
all
is
year long.
hilarious. I need it. This will be so much fun to draw. All right,
Okay,
let's
cool.
see.
And so then,
There is.
but yeah, you don't have to pick right now. We'll do it in a few weeks. We'll remind everybody because doesn't have to be Christmas related. This is just hilarious. So go ahead.
Let me see. It's. I'm sorry. I
Okay, you keep
thought I
looking.
had
We're
it,
gonna move on. You keep
but I
looking,
can't read them all. Yeah. Okay.
and you'll find a good list, and we'll talk about it. And if we don't get it today, we'll get it. But we're gonna circle back on the Yule lads. I mean, spoon liquor. Like what
Yeah.
the
Well, because one of them I couldn't.
door slammer, the sausage swiper. Like this
Okay.
is the.
No, I got
You got it.
it.
Is it just as good as what
Yeah.
we were thinking?
So Sheep Shagger is comes on the 12th. He's the oldest brother to visit. Since he's the oldest, he leaves several days before to make his long journey. His
He's
legs
slow.
have become very creaky and stiff in his old
Yes.
age. If you listen close enough, you can hear his knees creaking. His favorite treats are Christmas cookies and milk. He's kind and clever and stubborn. Gollygawk, he's on the 13th. He's the biggest, tallest, strongest of the brothers and is not affected by the weather or the rough Icelandic terrain. He is shy and likes to travel undercover. He takes care of the Christmas cat, making sure he gets enough to eat so he doesn't become hungry and eat the children. His favorite
Oh.
treats are meats and sweet milk. Yeah. Aw, little guy. His personality is clumsy and not very bright. He loves children and animals. Then
Yeah,
there's
he loves
Stubby
children.
on the 14th. Smallest of the brothers. He's also charming. Um, if there's been heavy snow recently, he travels with a shovel in case he has to dig through snowdrifts. It's important to leave a small chair next to the window to help him reach the shoe and give him a place to rest before it continues on. So I guess he sleeps in a shoe. Then there's the pot scraper
But
on the
what were they
15th.
doing? What was that guy's name? The last
I
guy?
don't know.
They're just telling how
The
they
last guy was
arrive.
Stubby.
Stubby just
Yeah.
arrived. Like, what's he do? He doesn't. Okay, we're gonna have to find better, but keep going. Just keep going.
It sounds like he sleeps in your shoe. And he
That's what he
shovels
does.
snow. Then there's the pot scraper.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
He learned
Hold
to
on,
get
hold
the
on a
pots
sec.
and
I'm just
pans.
dying here. Whoever came up with these, I've never thought of like making
Hilarious.
up. Yeah, just like this is like he sleeps in your shoe and he shovels snow. It's like okay.
Okay. The pot scraper, he won't resist an unwashed pot of soup while he's going house to house. So basically, he
He's gonna
gets
wash your
your
pots for you. He sounds
leftovers and your
nice.
dirty pots. Yeah. And then there's the spoon licker. He used to suck his thumb as a young boy. He would get scolded to stop, so he switched to sucking on wooden spoons instead. He especially likes spoons that have been covered in cake mix or
course.
chocolate sauce.
Of course.
His favorite treats are vegetables, milk, and spoons. He's dopey, kind, and understanding. Then there's the bowl licker. He gets his name from the habit of licking the food remains of an asker. An asker is a bowl to keep food warm. He hides under beds waiting for someone to put down their asker, or he would happily accept a tub of Skyer. I don't know what that is. Then there's the door slammer. We already talked about him. The Skyer gluten. He is old-fashioned and doesn't like things to change. He complains about things nowadays not being as good as they were in the past. Oh, it's like every old man. He loves to slide down mountains on his way into town. Then there's the sausage swiper.
So he's just
he
a
comes on the
complainer.
20th.
You just have to listen to this gnome walking around complaining about stuff.
Yeah. When I was a kid.
I'm tired.
Yeah, kids these days.
I can't breathe over here.
The sausage swiper is known for hiding in the rafters and snatching sausages that are being smoked. Oh boy, the window peeper. The window peeper. he loves to gaze into families' windows with bright colors and patterns. He thinks they're so beautiful. Yeah, they make it sound not as bad. The door sniffer, he comes on the 22nd. He's an abnormally large nose, which allows him to locate scrapes of food that have been dropped on the ground. His nose does not stop at good smelling things. He can't stand the smell of bad, so make sure your room is tidy. I've worn socks before you go to bed.
I had to
Sounds like
take a
he
break for a
cleans up your
second.
socks.
This is so hilarious.
It's
I have
You
tears
should see
coming
these
from my
pictures, they're pretty
eyes.
funny.
Oh, oh.
Aw. Then
This
there's the meat hook on the 23rd. Um,
oh,
he
finally
has a
one
great
that's
love
not
for
as funny.
meat and refuses vegetable. He uses a hook to steal meat of any kind. And the candle stealer on the 24th. Um, the candles used to be made from tallow, a rendered animal fat, which it made them edible. This was a
Oh.
treat for someone who had just traveled hundreds of miles. That's disgusting. Look for teeth marks on your candles. And then that was it.
Oh my gosh. That is that is by far the best story I've ever heard. Like myth. I
All right, I'll
I've
save
never
this
heard like
page so we
people
can.
even try to put together like making fun of like making up their own stupid um creatures or things like on shows and cartoons. Like that is they had a whole list and some of them weren't even bad. Some of them weren't bad. One ate children,
No.
right? Like we have one that's like eating children, and then you have some that aren't doing nothing, like they're shoveling snow and sleeping in a shoe. Some are good, some are like mischiefy. Like it's the best range. One guy just
Yeah,
complains.
well, I'd like to see if
Oh,
there's, because like the article that or the whatever we read earlier was like they most of these things aren't good. So I'm curious if that was just like
oh yeah, we're
the
diving in.
kid
We're doing
version
gonna do a
of
deep
these
dive.
things.
We're doing a
Yeah.
deep dive on these guys.
But yeah, we'll look into it. Make
Whole episode
some
dedicated to the
pictures.
13 lads. I got an eyelash, so you gotta tell some jokes. I gotta take a break for a sec.
Oh, all right. I'll tell the ones that I told already since nobody heard them before anyway. Uh, what do you get when you cross a snowman with a vampire? Frostbite. That's the one that Jeff said earlier was funny. Um, what do you call Santa when he stops moving? Santa paws. Oh man, these are good. Um, what do you call an elf that runs away from Santa's workshop? A rebel without a claws. It's dumb. Uh, what do you call a reindeer ghost? Caribou. Oh, that's good. Um, what is Santa's dog's name? Santa Paws. Um, I feel like some of these I've read before on other shows. What do you call an obnoxious reindeer? Rudolph, because he's rude. It's good. What do grapes sing at Christmas? 'Tis the season to be jelly. That was the best one.
What was
You
that
missed a
one?
good one.
What was that one? Tell it again. You can tell it again.
Uh,
Heist time.
what do grapes sing at Christmas? Huh?
Nothing. I just yelled heist time. So go ahead. What do they sing?
Weird. Uh, 'tis the season to be jelly. That's funny because it's grapes. Grape
Yeah, I didn't find it as
jelly. And that's because you've already done all
what the
your laughing
hell.
for the week.
600. Jeez,
What?
he's going all in. Oh man. Oh my
Who?
gosh.
Oh,
The Yule lads. That
is
was
it
the
a game?
best. Yeah, it's heist time.
Craig? Holy smokes.
Yeah. Hey, check out this
Does he
pretty
even have
lady.
600?
Yeah, that's why I had to
Aw,
look. I
that's
looked
what I would
down to
like
see
in the
if he
morning.
had enough. I was like, 600, jeez. Yeah, I was
It's
kind
because he
of.
stopped, playing the lottery game or
He
whatever.
thinks everybody was playing this morning. That's what it is. Whew, wow, that was rough. Seriously. Oh man, those Yule
The
dudes.
eyelash?
No, the Yule guys. I'm still recovering from
Oh.
my laughing. That was. They're so like just the stupidest. Sorry, now it's gonna be started again. Anytime I think about them. I can't. It's not. The dude sleeps in a shoe and shovels snow. I'm like, no, I want that guy to come to my house.
Yeah, right?
Okay, we gotta finish this. We gotta get through it. Okay, we got Frau Perchecha. She's from Germany and Austria. Um, known by many names, including Italian La Benfana, Slavic Baba Yaga, and the Russian
Oh,
Baba Suka. But her MO is the same no matter what. She
I
knows
think
how.
that's babushka.
Babushka. Good. That one sounds exactly like a Russian word. Babushka. Um, you know, I wish we were a little more friends with them as countries. That'd be nice. I like their
Yeah.
words. I
Yeah,
think
there's a lot of culture there
I've met
for sure.
quite a few Russian people, and they're pretty nice in general. I mean, like they're really nice. Um, she is known to hand out
Poor
both.
Craig.
Did he lose it all?
We won.
Was he the only one that died?
He just said no. No, we were the only ones that didn't die.
He's betting the
He's like, I'm
rest in
gonna throw it
slots.
all in slots. He's done.
Guess you just got to watch
Craig,
more
don't do
hours.
it.
You got to turn your computer on when you're at work.
That was hilarious. The no. There's like 10 O's on there.
What does she do? She
I'm sorry,
hands
pal.
out both rewards and punishments. The witch can switch between being sweet and being sadistic, depending on whether you had pleased her. If angered, she might rip out your internal organs, and replace them with junk.
Whoa.
Oh, she puts back.
I was
something.
gonna say opposed to your external.
Yeah. And then we got good old Hans Trap. There are two Christmas villains named Hans.
Ah.
One's is a criminal mastermind in Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is an anti-Santa who's definitely the scariest. Legend has it that the latter was a real man who worshipped Satan and was excommunicated from the Catholic Church. He was then exiled into the forest where he disguised himself as a scarecrow to prey on children. To this day, some parents in northeastern France still mention his name to kids to finish their Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are good.
So he's down to
But
0.
yeah, I mean,
He's
I
got
could see
5.
somebody that wastes. Yeah.
And that he probably just got that
I
from
could
just
see
watching.
somebody. Yeah. He's like, well, I don't know. Sorry about that, Craig. Sorry about all your beans, buddy.
Maybe Grandma will loan you some.
He's like, it's okay. I know people. I'll get more beans. You'll see. You haven't seen the last of me yet.
Well, what about Lucy? December 13th in Norway and
Is she
Sweden
evil?
marked St. Lucia's Day, in which St. Lucia was represented as a beautiful woman in a white sash and a crown of candles on her head. However, a few centuries ago, it was celebrated differently. It is said that evil spirits and demons wander the earth on Lucy's night, the night before December 13th. Wow, man, we got a calendar out all these days. Like when the evil people come around.
St. Lucy's Day is because the first Yule lad comes on the 13th. So you got right, yeah.
12th. He was 12th.
You start with this.
He was 12th.
And then
technically the night. Oh no, the night before
yeah, 'cause
December
there's
13th.
13.
He comes the same night, the night of the 12th. Yeah. So we'll see. Unless that counts midnight.
Maybe
We'll have to
they're
put them on a calendar and actually see like right when they get them out. That'd be awesome to see that Yule lad comes today. Oh, the mean cat. The baddest one of them all is Lucy, which is portrayed as a hideous demon with tyrannical powers. Besides causing mayhem, she also destroys properties, crops, livestock, as well as kidnaps and kills anyone foolish enough not to be tucked up safely in bed. Okay.
Yikes.
Then we have the Karakonkolas. Karakonkolas from Turkey and Bulgaria, a scarier version of Bigfoot. The Karakonkolas appear during winter to stir up trouble. In Turkey, it is known to stand on street corners setting riddles for passers-by. If you reply with an answer that includes the word black, kara in Turkish, you are free to go unharmed. But if not, you'd be knocked out cold, even colder than the weather. In other parts of the world, the
Wow.
yeah, I know, wow. The Karakonkol's favorite trick was to disguise its voice, pretending to be someone's friend or relative to lure its intended victim out in the snow. The boogeyman is said to have derived from Greek Kalakanzaros. Jeez, another K word.
Scary.
The Kalakantazari,
Oh, we were just talking about.
Kalakantazari, which is different. This one's from Greece. Is that the same? Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, it was saying that they were thinking those guys were derived from this guy.
So, which is the scarier than one demon? A group of them. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeesh.
In Greece, these monsters are
Yeah.
said to spend a year underground, sawing through the tree of life that runs through the earth before they resurface in December to cause mischief and chaos. This includes stealing any child born over the 12 days of Christmas and turning them into a fellow Kankarantanzaros. To keep them at bay, you'd have to bind newborns with strong garlic and place a colander outside your house. The demons,
Colander.
colander. The demons would be roped into counting the holes, but since the number 3 is holy in Greek, they would miscount and would start all over again, which would keep them busy. Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, I feel like there was something similar. Maybe this creature was in Supernatural, but they threw. Oh no, that was fairies threw rice on the ground, and they had to count each grain of rice. So yeah, that's funny.
All right, got 5 minutes.
Oh, isn't that cutie?
Let's see, do we got any repeats? So this article is "'Tis the Season: 7 Holiday Myths, Legend, Hoaxes, and Superstitions." The Star Wars Holiday Special. Let's start with a true one. The story goes that a holiday episode of the classic movie Star Wars was made for TV but was only shown once and has never been seen again. If you're a Star Wars fan or were around watching TV in 1978, you may have witnessed the genuine CBS showing, but for those who didn't, it has become something of a holiday myth. It was actually made and shown around Thanksgiving time, but without full participation of Mr. Star Wars himself, George Lucas. Indeed, Lucas was said to have loathed the show so much that he bought the rights to it and declared just that. If he could, he would destroy every copy. Seems like he didn't manage because bootleg copies apparently exist, but unless the Force is with you, you've got the right connections. Don't expect to see it anytime soon. Ooh.
That is hilarious. I like that story.
A man who microwaved his brain. Hold on to your hats for this one.
Sounds like something.
Sounds like something like a man would do.
Yeah.
It was Christmas Day, 1988, when a shivering night watchman at a Canadian telephone, I know where this is going, relay depot snuggled
Yeah.
up to the humming equipment to garner a little wealth. He didn't know the equipment emitted
More.
microwave radiation, which truly can superheat human tissue as well as anything else. He settled down on a desk chair with a 12-pack to wait outside his solitary Christmas. Wait out his solitary Christmas. Meanwhile, according to the story, the phone company boosted the power at the installation so it could handle the increased seasonal phone calls, and the poor guy was found 12 hours later with his brains fried and unfinished cans exploded. It's a myth.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
origin,
that feels right.
yeah, yeah. The origins of how the Grinch
Yeah,
stole
because who
Christmas.
wouldn't just like heat up some some tea and keep yourself warm that way? No one's microwaves don't like emit a lot of heat.
No, I never been
You
ooh,
would be
don't touch
better off
that
just heating
microwave.
something up. Yeah.
Um, so how the Grinch stole Christmas. The famous Dr. Seuss story tells a tale of a mountain-dwelling creature that tries to prevent the people of nearby Whoville from enjoying Christmas. According to a holiday myth that always circulated this time of year, Dr. Seuss based a story on the city of Charlottesville and its University of Virginia sports team, the Wahoos, or the Whoos as they're usually called, hence Whoville. There's no truth in this, although one local claims the college president used to read the story aloud from the balcony on the eve of Christmas break, and that's where the holiday hoax sprang from. So they were saying it came from
That's funny.
Charlottesville. They claimed it.
Yep. Yep. That's fair. People claim things all the time. They're like, "It's mine," and they're like, "No, it's not." But whatever.
Okay, some Christmas superstitions. Some superstitions surround supposed bad luck gifts. Give a person a knife and they will cut themselves or injure you. Buy them shoes and they will leave you. No one is really sure why kissing under the mistletoe is supposed to have special significance. In fact, it was once regarded as bad luck or even an evil omen and was banished by some religious groups. Happily that it's not the case today as far as we've seen. So feel free. Oh, okay. And find your victim. That's funny. They shouldn't say it that way. That's for your seasonal roundup. All right, that's all we got today.
It's funny. Rick used to get me shoes for every Christmas. He'd get several years in a row. He got me a new pair of Chucks, and I finally had to ask him to. I told him he could stop buying me some for a while because I've got like 3 or 4 pairs that I never wear because I have so many pairs of Chucks. So, and it was sweet. He'd get me all different colors, a different color every year. So I've got black ones, black and white. I've got black. I've got maroon. I've got blue. I had gray. The gray one finally bit the dust. So maybe I guess I only have 5 pairs now. And I don't even wear shoes most days.
Yeah, shoes.
That's pretty. I do have a lot of shoes. Yeah, Rick's always like, "You have so many shoes." I'm like, "You get me shoes for Christmas."
Yeah.
Oh, look at those pictures. That's us floating around with the salamanders.
Or today's picture, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too.
Flip around in the way. There we go.
Oh yeah. You're a
Those are
Krampus,
those are
and
some
I'm an
tiny
elf.
little children, or I'm really big.
Yeah. No,
I only stole the
tiny.
tiny
Well,
ones.
I already drew you, and I was like, "Oh no, I need to put kids in there." It's like, well, I zoomed way in. They've got little faces. The bigger of the two has like a. He's like, "No," and no one would know if we hadn't shown it here today.
Yep, that's a good picture. So,
Thanks.
what do we have coming up? we are missing our co-host, so we'll have a sub next
Yep.
week. Unless you can make it
Yep.
now all of a sudden, like all your moving and everything
No.
good. So we'll talk
No.
more about some
No, we're doing
stories.
family stuff on Saturday.
We'll do stories of Christmas. I'll see what we can find. If not, I'll cover more of what we didn't get to.
Mhm.
And then the new year. This episode will be interesting because I think we should look at what kind of technology comes out this year, or what should we expect that maybe is gonna be on the near horizon for the next 12 months. A lot of people like to do those look backs. I want to do a look forward. What's coming
Yeah,
up?
let's do a look forward. Okay. I'm down.
Oh,
I'm your
maybe next.
Huckleberry.
You're my Huckleberry, huh? Interesting. I think he died at the end.
Oh, yeah. I watched Winona Earp. I watched the
Winona.
final season, so
Oh
Winona
yeah,
Earp.
they did
Yeah.
integrate him in. I forgot about that. That was the best
Yeah,
part
he's
about
pretty
that
much in
show.
it integrate. He was in it from the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was, because he was always like trying to struggle with being good or bad, and he wanted to be good. And then I thought at one point they killed him, and maybe that's where I stopped. Like, fake killed him, right? Because he is a main character.
Yeah.
But overall,
No,
I
he's
thought that series was decent, was good. It was interesting.
yeah, I liked it. I guess I was a bit behind, so I finished season 4, and I was like, "Wait, where's 5?" Like,
Did
"Oh,
they
it's
cancel it?
canceled."
And they did. Did
Yeah,
they
it's
leave it on
done.
a cliffhanger
Yeah.
too?
No.
They kind of wrapped
No,
a
they
lot
wrapped
up.
it up good enough. Yeah. It made sense why it was, when I found out that that was the last episode, I was like, "Oh, that makes sense why it was." They really came full circle in the last couple episodes. I'm like, "Okay, I get it."
Yeah, I thought he did a good job playing. What's his name?
Yeah. Doc
Doc
Holliday.
Hollywood. Holiday. I was gonna say Hollywood. Doc Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Yeah,
You're
just kind
like,
of a
you're
holiday.
thinking of the Great British Bake Off.
But it's somebody named
Paul
Doc
Holly
Hollywood.
Paul Hollywood. No,
Oh.
Paul Hollywood. Yeah. He's basically the Simon Cowell of the
Baking.
food. Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. Well, everybody, if you don't join us on the 24th, have a happy Merry Christmas. And
Yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend and a happy holiday. I hope you get to
we'll,
spend it with family.
we will be back together on the 31st for our New Year's Eve party. We will be broadcasting all day up until starting 8 a.m. till 12
That
a.m.
is
that
not
night.
true.
We are going to do the longest
It's
live
not true.
stream ever. And we are not going to do our animes,
There
people.
won't be any talking after 9:30.
And there won't be any animes, people. We'll do
That would
real
be
life
hilarious.
video. And so you can see our fun parties that we have. All
I
right.
think I think we should just leave it running and like have our microphones on and just pick up sounds of the house of the houses. Just every once in a while you hear a dog bark or, a toilet flush or something. That would be hilarious. Like Happy New Year, everybody.
People just tune in and tune out. We probably pull the most. Yeah, Craig says he'll be there getting his beans back. Yeah, that's a good. That'll
Yeah.
be how you can stay tuned in, collect
So yeah, he'll
beans.
just like one bean at a time for the
You
rest
get
of the whole
5
day.
every few minutes or something like that. So,
Yeah.
what's he up to now? Here, real quick, check real quick as we're logging off. We'll do our outro.
He's got 5. He just did it not that long ago.
No, that was a
Hey,
little
he's
bit
got the
ago.
same. Oh,
Yeah, but okay, I'm gonna do it
why would he?
because we've had a few minutes. I'm
Oh,
trying to gauge like how quick it's going. Yeah, he's already up to 20.
oh man, no wonder everyone. Look at how many Patricia has. Holy smokes,
Yeah, she
she's
broke the
loaded.
1G. We're gonna restart at the new year. So we're gonna have our leaderboard for the first year. So you gotta try to get in. All
That's
right.
awesome.
Everybody have a wonderful
All right.
weekend. And you would have been ahead. Exactly. Slow and steady.
That's it.
Slow and
Hey,
steady.
you tried it.
All right. Bye, everyone.